Greetings to you. Yeah, this is your counselor, Anthony, the therapist. Yes, today we are going to differentiate what we've been talking about all this time. And what is that? Boundaries and walls. You've heard me speak about boundaries in a previous video, and if you've not watched that video, please go and watch that video. Understand your boundaries and how they are affecting you. But some people tend to mistake setting boundaries and having walls. And that is what we are going to clarify, demystify. That's what we're going to make easy today for you to understand. John Boo, Mary and Eunice, please come closer. So number one, most important, what is boundaries? Remember, as I've shared with you earlier, boundaries are healthy limits. Healthy. Mark, underline, capitalize both that word. Healthy. So healthy limits. Healthy limits that you have for yourself to protect yourself, to protect your relationship, to protect you. Basically, it's for your own well-being, having boundaries. So they are like fences. And I said last time, remember the fence that you have in your house. Just imagine that, because it helps you to protect you. However, when it comes to walls are different from boundaries. Walls are more like barriers or hindrances that you put out of fear or even out of the defense mechanisms. You remember I also made a video on defense mechanisms? You are going to see that as well. Hinders you. It stops you emotionally from engaging, from being genuine, from being intimate with other people. That is what walls do. So walls hinder or stop you. Meanwhile, boundaries help to protect you. Now let me give you examples. Communication, for instance. With a healthy boundary, you will communicate. You will be able to communicate where you are at in your thoughts, in your feelings, and even in your behaviors with other people. Meanwhile, for walls, you will not be able to communicate that. Instead, you will isolate yourself, you will shut down emotionally. In fact, you are not able to communicate even your needs and your feelings. You don't even engage. That is the difference. Now, again, when it comes to boundaries, a good example of that would be even in behaviors. You will be able to communicate with the other person how you want to be treated, how calling you names or shouting or yelling at you does not help you. You will be able to communicate that. However, if you have walls, then you will not be able to communicate that. You will be shutting down. You will refuse to engage even when things are not going the way that suits you or your mental health. Communicate where your boundaries are being violated. Instead, you will just shut down quietly and refuse to engage, and therefore people too cannot understand you or where you are at. Another example would be financially, and we've spoken about financial boundaries even a lot of the times, but financial boundaries will look more like communicating and taking financial responsibilities. For instance, communicating your shared expenses, communicating even about your individual spending limits, and this helps to promote transparency, honesty, and trust. However, on the other hand, putting up walls financially would lead to what? It will lead to keeping quiet, not talking, not expressing what concerns you financially. You will not be able to say, for instance, what you aim to maybe your partner or whoever needs to know. You do not be things are beyond your reach. And in fact, you will be keeping quiet, you will not talk about it, and this now leads to secrecy and even mistrust, even in relationship. And we can go on and on and on and on and on. However, these are some of the differences between boundaries and walls. Which of them do you have? Or which of them you don't you have? Which of them do you have? Do you have boundaries or are you setting walls? Either ways, please talk to us. We are here to journey with you wherever you are at, just to let you know. And let somebody know who needs to know the difference between boundaries and wall. Share this video to them. Let somebody know. Please do not keep it to yourself. Share to somebody and let me know in the comment section what you think, what you understand, what you know about boundaries and walls. Please remember to give us a like and also remember to share. Please follow us, subscribe. We are happy to be reaching you every time we have the opportunity to. Thank you very much. I remain your counselor, Anthony the Therapist. Bye.